What if I told you that behind the thunder of guitars and the chaos of mosh pits, some of heavy metal's biggest names weren't celebrated, they were despised? From explosive tempers to ego-driven feuds, from shocking scandals to moments that destroyed their reputations, these are the musicians who went from adored to absolutely hated. Here are 25 of the most hated artists in heavy metal history. 25. Lars Ulrich, Metallica. Lars Ulrich is one of metal's most polarizing figures. While Metallica's music made history, Lars gained infamy for leading the battle against Napster in the early 2000s, angering millions of fans who saw him as greedy and out of touch. Beyond the lawsuit, many dislike his drumming style, mocking it as simplistic compared to other metal legends. His outspoken personality, endless interviews, and tendency to stir up drama have kept him under constant fire, making him one of the most criticized drummers in metal history. 24. Dave Mustaine, Megadeth. Dave Mustaine's story is legendary. Kicked out of Metallica, he went on to build Megadeth into a thrash metal powerhouse. Yet, his ego and constant feuds with other artists earned him a reputation as difficult and arrogant. Known for controversial comments, political rants, and public clashes with former bandmates, Mustaine often overshadowed his own brilliance with his attitude. Fans respect his talent, but his sharp tongue, stubborn nature, and self-destructive behavior cemented him as one of the most disliked personalities in heavy metal. 23. Axl Rose, Guns N' Roses. Axl Rose, frontman of Guns N' Roses, became both an icon and a villain in rock history. His explosive temper, infamous lateness to shows, and countless fights with band members and industry figures fueled his reputation. Fans were often left waiting hours for concerts, only to witness chaotic performances. Behind the scenes, his controlling nature fractured the band at its peak. Despite his undeniable vocal power and influence, his erratic behavior and massive ego made him one of rock and metal's most hated figures. 22. Vince Neil, Mötley Crüe. Vince Neil, the voice of Mötley Crüe, drew heavy criticism for reckless living. His involvement in a fatal DUI crash that killed Hanoi Rocks drummer Razzle forever tarnished his image. Over the years, fans accused him of uneven live performances, often slurring lyrics or appearing unprepared. Beyond music, his string of arrests, lawsuits, and questionable behavior kept him in the headlines. While his voice defined a generation of glam metal, his wild and destructive personal life made him one of the most controversial frontmen. 21. Kerry King, Slayer. Kerry King, guitarist of Slayer, is known as much for his sharp riffs as for his sharper tongue. He built a reputation for trashing other bands, dismissing their music, and creating unnecessary feuds within the metal community. His unapologetic and abrasive personality rubbed many the wrong way, especially when he publicly criticized even successful peers. While Slayer fans celebrate his contribution to thrash, his constant negativity and cold demeanor turned him into a polarizing figure who earned just as much hate as respect. 20. Tommy Lee, Mötley Crüe. Tommy Lee was once praised for his flashy drumming, but over time, his scandals overshadowed his musicianship. From endless tabloid drama to leaked tapes and volatile relationships, he became more of a celebrity spectacle than a respected metal drummer. While fans loved his wild lifestyle in the 80s, many grew tired of his attention-seeking antics. His constant need for the spotlight, reality TV appearances, and outrageous behavior made him one of the most criticized figures, proving that controversy followed him more than his music did. 19. Phil Anselmo, Pantera. Phil Anselmo was once considered one of metal's greatest frontmen, but his legacy is darkened by his controversial actions. Known for violent outbursts and offensive remarks, he alienated fans and tarnished Pantera's reputation. His infamous white power gesture on stage in 2016 sparked global outrage, damaging his career further. Combined with years of substance abuse, unpredictable behavior, and broken relationships with bandmates, Anselmo became one of metal's most disliked figures. Despite his talent, his self-destructive choices overshadowed his impact on the genre. 18. Gene Simmons, Kiss. Gene Simmons has made as many headlines for his mouth as for his music. Known for bragging about money, fame, and conquests, Simmons has often been accused of greed and arrogance. His endless merchandising of Kiss, from lunchboxes to coffins, turned many fans off, who saw him as exploiting the band's image. Beyond money, his blunt and often offensive comments about women, musicians, and society created backlash. While Kiss remains legendary, Simmons' reputation for egotism and shameless money-grabbing has earned him plenty of hate. 17. Paul Stanley Kiss. Paul Stanley, co-leader of Kiss, isn't immune to criticism either. Though a talented frontman, he's frequently accused of creating toxic feuds with former members like Ace Frehley and Peter Criss. His tendency to rewrite band history in interviews has frustrated longtime fans. Many also criticize him for over-commercializing Kiss, turning the band into more of a brand than a group of musicians. While he remains the face of glam rock excess, his controlling nature and inflated ego have made him a polarizing figure. 16. Yngwie Malmsteen. Yngwie Malmsteen is often hailed as one of the fastest guitar players alive, yet his reputation offstage has been far less flattering. Infamous for his arrogance and diva-like behavior, he's been accused of belittling bandmates and demanding total control. His explosive temper was even caught on tape in the infamous "You've Unleashed the Fury" airplane incident. While his neoclassical shredding inspired generations, his lack of humility and constant ego clashes turned many fans and fellow musicians against him, earning him notoriety beyond his skill. 15. Ronnie Radke. Ronnie Radke's career has been surrounded by controversy from the beginning. From serving time in prison for his involvement in a fight that led to a death, to countless public feuds, his reputation is messy. Even after forming Falling in Reverse, Radke's antics, ranging from violent outbursts to social media meltdowns, kept him in the headlines. While younger fans embrace his rebellious image, many critics dismiss him as toxic and unprofessional. His troubled past and constant drama made him one of the most polarizing artists. 14. Fred Durst, Limp Bizkit. Fred Durst, the face of Limp Bizkit, became one of the most mocked figures in nu metal. Known for his cocky demeanor and constant feuds, he quickly became the poster boy for everything critics hated about the genre. His role in the infamous Woodstock '99 chaos, where Limp Bizkit set fueled destruction and violence, cemented his negative reputation. Despite commercial success, many fans saw him as immature and arrogant. Even today, Durst's name often sparks ridicule, making him one of metal's most disliked frontmen. 13. Kid Rock. Kid Rock's career started with rap rock and metal influences, but his later shift into politics and controversial rants turned many fans away. Once celebrated for his rowdy energy, he became infamous for offensive outbursts, polarizing political statements, and disrespectful behavior. While some still defend his rebellious image, others see him as a sellout who abandoned music for attention. His transition from party rocker to political provocateur cemented his spot on this list, as his personality and public image became more hated than his music. 12. Marilyn Manson. Marilyn Manson built his career on shock value, pushing boundaries with grotesque performances and outrageous antics. While fans embraced his theatrical style, critics and parents saw him as dangerous, even blaming him for influencing violence. In recent years, allegations of abuse and misconduct surfaced, darkening his image further. Once seen as an edgy anti-hero, he's now viewed by many as deeply problematic. The combination of his shocking stage persona and disturbing personal scandals made him one of the most controversial names in heavy music. 11. Ted Nugent. Ted Nugent is often remembered less for his guitar playing and more for his outspoken politics. His extreme right-wing views, inflammatory comments, and offensive remarks about women and minorities created waves of backlash. He frequently used interviews and concerts as platforms for political rants, alienating fans who once admired his music. While he proudly embraces the role of provocateur, many see him as hateful and divisive. His aggressive persona, combined with his outspoken nature, made him one of the most despised figures in rock and metal. 10. Varg Vikernes. Varg Vikernes is infamous in black metal history for reasons far beyond music. Convicted of murdering fellow musician Euronymous and burning down churches in Norway, he became a symbol of the darkest side of the genre. After his release, his extremist political and racial views only fueled more hatred. While some consider his music influential, his crimes and ideology overshadow everything. He remains one of the most hated figures, not just in metal, but in all of music history, remembered for violence and destruction. 9. Gal Gorgoroth. Gal, frontman of Norwegian black metal band Gorgoroth, cultivated a reputation for terror. Known for his unsettling stage presence, extreme views, and violent past, Gahal became one of the most controversial figures in extreme metal. His involvement in shocking stage performances, including animal heads on spikes, created outrage across the world. Offstage, his conviction for violent assault added to his infamy. While some fans respect his dedication to black metal's raw roots, his disturbing image and history made him one of the genre's most despised icons. 8. Tim Lambesis, As I Lay Dying. Tim Lambesis shocked the metal world when he was arrested for attempting to hire a hitman to murder his wife. Once the respected frontman of As I Lay Dying, his actions destroyed the band's reputation and horrified fans. After serving prison time, he attempted a comeback, but his past continues to haunt him. Though his band regained some followers, many still refuse to support him. His fall from respected metalcore leader to disgraced criminal made him one of the most hated artists in metal. 7. Ian Watkins, Lost Prophets. Ian Watkins' downfall is one of the darkest stories in rock history. As the frontman of Lost Prophets, he rose to fame with a devoted fan base, only for it all to collapse when his horrific crimes against children came to light. Convicted and sentenced to prison, he became universally despised. Unlike others on this list, Watkins's reputation is beyond repair, with even his own fans disowning him. His story stands as one of the most shocking betrayals in music, leaving behind only disgust and condemnation. 6. Trent Reznor, 9 Inch Nails. Though highly respected in industrial music, Trent Reznor is often disliked by traditional metal fans who dismiss 9 Inch Nails as not real metal. His experimental style challenged the genre, but many purists accused him of diluting heavy music with electronic influences. Beyond that, his abrasive personality and controversial statements sometimes added fuel to the fire. While his influence is undeniable, his polarizing presence and the constant debate over his place in metal history made him one of the genre's most divisive figures. 5. Jonathan Davis, Korn. Jonathan Davis and Korn helped launch nu metal into the mainstream, but the genre quickly became one of the most ridiculed in metal history. Davis's unique vocal style and emotional lyrics connected with millions, yet critics accused Korn of watering down heavy music. Metal elitists often singled him out as the face of everything wrong with nu metal. While fans adore him, his association with a genre many love to hate made him a controversial figure. His name still divides opinions across the heavy metal world. 4. Corey Taylor, Slipknot, H.T. Stone Sour. Corey Taylor is both admired and despised within heavy metal circles. His powerful vocals and leadership in Slipknot earned global respect, yet his habit of sharing strong opinions on nearly every topic rubbed many the wrong way. From feuds with other bands to endless media appearances, some see him as arrogant and attention-seeking. While millions love him as the voice of a generation, critics view him as overexposed. His tendency to insert himself into every discussion made him one of the most polarizing frontmen. 3. Ozzy Osbourne, Black Sabbath. Ozzy Osbourne is undeniably the Prince of Darkness, but his later image divided fans. Once a dangerous and unpredictable frontman, he became a reality TV star portrayed as a bumbling family man. Some longtime fans hated this transformation, believing it ruined his mystique. Add to that his infamous substance abuse, bizarre stage antics, and chaotic personal life, and he remained a lightning rod for criticism. While he'll always be a legend, Ozzy's unpredictable evolution made him one of the most controversial figures in metal history. 2. Sharon Osbourne. Though not a musician, Sharon Osbourne has had an enormous influence on metal through her management and role in Ozfest. Yet, her ruthless business tactics, feuds with artists, and manipulative reputation made her widely despised. Many accused her of exploiting Ozzy's name for profit while tearing down other bands. Her public feuds, particularly with Iron Maiden and others, solidified her image as controlling and vindictive. While powerful, her reputation in the metal world is overwhelmingly negative, making her one of its most hated figures. 1. Sebastian Bach, Skid Row. Sebastian Bach, once the golden-haired frontman of Skid Row, built a career on his voice and ego. Known for explosive fights with bandmates, feuds with other artists, and a reputation for being nearly impossible to work with, he earned as much hate as admiration. Even as Skid Row's popularity faded, Bach remained a controversial figure due to his fiery personality and constant clashes. His raw talent was undeniable, but his arrogance and combative nature ensured his place as one of heavy metal's most hated artists. These 25 names left scars on the scene that fans will never forget, whether through arrogance, betrayal, or complete self-destruction. But here's the real question: do you think they truly deserved the hate, or were some of them just victims of the spotlight? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and let's settle this once and for all. And if you love diving into the wildest, most untold stories in heavy metal, make sure you hit that subscribe button. You don't want to miss what's coming next.